Good evening. Welcome to South Asia Newsline. I'm Shreya Savijay. Here are the top stories we are tracking for you on Tuesday, the 29th of December. Suspension of UK flights may be slightly extended, hints India's Civil Aviation Minister amid virus strain fear. Protests against frequent load shedding continue in Gilgit-Baltistan. And Bangladesh moves second group of Rohingya refugees to remote island. And now for all the details. India's Civil Aviation Minister Hardeep Singh Puri on Tuesday hinted an extension in temporary suspension of UK flights to India beyond December 31, as 6 cases of a mutant strain of coronavirus that first surfaced in the UK have been detected in the country. India had last week suspended passenger flights to and from the United Kingdom after reports of the more infectious coronavirus variant spreading there.
The temporary suspension of UK flights to India may be extended beyond December 31, India's Civil Aviation Minister Hardeep Singh Puri said on Tuesday. This comes as 6 cases of a mutant strain of coronavirus that first surfaced in the UK have been detected in India. India had last week suspended passenger flights to and from the United Kingdom till December 31 after reports of the more infectious coronavirus variant spreading there.
We are applying our mind just now, okay? Because we are already on the 29th, I foresee, now I'm speaking not with a mandate as an announcement, I foresee a slight extension of the temporary suspension because we are getting the fuller picture of what has happened.
Meanwhile, authorities in 4 Indian states, including Gujarat and Punjab, carried out COVID-19 vaccination mock drills with full enthusiasm for the second day on Tuesday. The dry run process included the possible adverse scenarios during and after administering the vaccine. Feasibility of CoWIN, a software which analyzes priority group and beneficiaries for vaccination drive, was also checked.
Police in India's eastern Patna city on Tuesday resorted to baton charging members of farmer unions and left organizations who were staging a demonstration against 3 new agriculture laws. A 6th round of talks between government and farmer unions is expected to take place on Wednesday to end the deadlock, as thousands of protesting farmers have continued to camp at borders of Indian capital New Delhi for over a month.
Police on Tuesday baton charged thousands of protesters staging demonstration against 3 new agricultural laws in Patna city of India's eastern Bihar state. Members of Akhil Bharatiya Kisan Sangharsh Samvay Samiti and other left organizations marched with banners and raised slogans towards Governor's house as they came out in support of the farmers. As the protesters tried to break the barricading, police resorted to baton charge, resulting in a clash. A deadlock continues to persist as a section of farmers wants the new farm laws that liberalize agriculture sector be scrapped, while government has offered to resume talks to resolve the impasse.
हम लंबे समय से जो किसान लड़ रहे हैं और नरेंद्र मोदी बात को सुन नहीं रहे हैं। हम कहना चाहते हैं साफ तौर पर कि अब यह किसानों का आंदोलन यह पूरे देश के अंदर में लगातार बढ़ता जा रहा है, यह फैलता जा रहा है। सरकार के कृषि कानूनों के वापसी तक यह आंदोलन जारी रहेगा।
Meanwhile, the farmers' protest at the borders of Indian capital to demand repeal of the 3 farm laws entered the 34th day on Tuesday. A 6th round of talks between the representatives of thousands of protesting farmers who have been camping at Delhi's borders and the government is scheduled to take place on Wednesday to end the month-long deadlock.
In news from Pakistan, Jamaat Ulema Islam Fazl Party chief Maulana Fazlur Rahman on Monday said the Prime Minister Imran Khan-led Pakistan government was bound to go and its supporters would be deemed culprits. Rahman reiterated the opposition's demand for resignation of PM Imran Khan on charges of election rigging, corruption and the army's dominance in the country's politics.
Jamiat Ulema-e-Islam Fazl or JUIF party chief Maulana Fazlur Rahman on Monday said Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan-led government was bound to go and those supporting it would be deemed culprits. Addressing a gathering of party workers, he said the incumbent government had no right to stay in office as it was illegitimate and incompetent. He blamed the ruling PTI government for weakening institutions and the overall annual growth had fallen below zero and was predicted to fall further in the next 2 years.
सो पहले तो ये हुकूमत नाजायज धांधली की पैदावार है और जो लोग धांधली कराने के मुजरिम हैं उनको भी गिरेबान में झांक कर सोचना चाहिए कि तुमने मुल्क के साथ किया क्या है.
Fazlur Rahman, who also leads 11-party opposition alliance Pakistan Democratic Movement or PDM, said that the next meeting of the leadership of the alliance will be held on January 1 in Lahore to formulate its future strategy. The PDM is leading a campaign against Prime Minister Khan-led government to quit by January 31 or face intensified movements by opposition parties, including a long march to Islamabad.
Moving on, there is anger and loathing among residents of Gilgit-Baltistan as frequent power outages continue to disrupt their lives. A protest was recently held by locals over prolonged load shedding in several areas of the illegally occupied region despite paying hefty bills.
Protests have continued against frequent load shedding in the illegally occupied region of Gilgit-Baltistan. Locals have expressed they are having a distressing time due to prolonged power cuts expanding to more than 18 hours which have hit normal life. Demanding an end to unannounced load shedding, demonstrators in a recently held protest lamented that those in power did not realize their predicament.
मुश्किलात पूछे जब नहीं पूछते तो फिर बैठे क्यों है यहाँ पे साहिबान और वो नुमाइंदगी किस चीज की कर रहे हैं.
Locals have time and again accused Pakistan of meting out a stepmotherly treatment to the illegally occupied region, failing to develop the infrastructure and leaving them high and dry. However, this seems a new low that Islamabad has stooped to in order to harass them.
In news from Afghanistan, violence has continued unabated in war-ravaged Afghanistan despite efforts for peace. An explosion targeting government employees in capital Kabul killed at least one civilian on Monday. No group has yet claimed responsibility for the blast. A blast targeting a minibus carrying Afghan civil servants killed at least one person and wounded 13 others in Afghanistan's capital Kabul on Monday. An eyewitness and police said that a bomber on a bicycle struck the minibus, which was carrying employees of the National Statistic and Information Authority. There was no immediate claim of responsibility for the attack.
یک موتر از سایه مرکزی میخواست که از پل گذرگاه عبور کنه و در جریان عبور بود که یک دانه بایسکلکی در نزدیکش خود رساند. نزدیک همی نوش پل دور کرده بود که همیجا یک گرمبس صدا آمد و در مرسیدس همی کارمندای سایه مرکزی بود که همو بسیاریشان اوگار شده بودن و چند نفرش بسیار یک حالت وخیم با خود داشتن.
The bicycle bomb was the second explosion to have rocked Kabul on Monday. A magnetic bomb struck a security force vehicle in the morning but caused no casualties, local media reports said. This comes as Afghan President Ashraf Ghani in a cabinet meeting on Monday expressed concern over recent terror attacks, saying this is an attempt to destabilize the country and demoralize the new generation. He said the terrorist attacks on media, civil society and political activists and other members of citizenry are attacks on a generation and on all the values of the Afghan government. In news from Nepal, as rift within the ruling Nepal Communist Party and protests triggered by Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli's recent move to dissolve the parliament continue, students of Nepal's Sanskrit University performed a Vedic practice to demonstrate in a unique way against Oli's decision, which they termed as unconstitutional.
A pyre was prepared on Monday to light up various offerings, part of a Vedic practice in front of the gate of Nepal Sanskrit University to demonstrate against the Nepali Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli's move to dissolve the parliament earlier this month. Students who called Oli's move unconstitutional in presence of clerics offered supplications before the fire, a combination of grain, paddy, rice, etc., while reciting Swaha, which means a finish to terrible things.
आजको आन्दोलन चाहिँ यो ओलीको एकात्मकता सत्ता जुन हावी भएको छ उसले चाहिँ जनताबाट चुनिएर आएका जुन सांसदहरू थिए उनीहरूलाई चाहिँ रातारात संसद विघटन गरेर जुन खालको जनतालाई चाहिँ अन्याय गरेको छ उनमा एउटा दम्भ जागृत भएको छ.
This comes as with rising rift inside the ruling Nepal Communist Party between the factions led by now caretaker government PM Oli and co-chair Pushpa Kamal Dahal. The party is on the brink of split. The rift within the party increased further with two warring sides for legitimacy after Oli dissolved the lower house of the parliament, calling for an early election on December 20. The move has sparked street protests across the Himalayan nation.
Moving on to news from Bangladesh. Bangladesh on Tuesday started moving a second group of Rohingya Muslim refugees to a low-lying island in the Bay of Bengal, despite opposition from rights groups worried about the new site's vulnerability to floods. The United Nations says it has not been involved in the relocation, but urged the government to ensure no refugee is forced to move to the Bhasan Char island, which only emerged from sea 20 years ago. Earlier this month, a group of more than 1,600 Rohingya who have fled from Myanmar were relocated from their rickety camps to the island. The Bangladesh government has said the relocation is voluntary, but some refugees from the first group had spoken about being coerced to go. Authorities in India's northern Jammu and Kashmir started a Premier League recently in Srinagar city to revive football, which players have been avoiding amid COVID-19 fears. The tournament will continue till March next year.
Government in India's northern Jammu and Kashmir Union Territory started its biggest Premier League recently to revive football amid COVID-19 pandemic in the Union Territory's summer capital, Srinagar city. J&K Sports Council, in collaboration with J&K Football Association, organized the Football League, which aimed to revive football and provide specific platform to the energetic footballers of the valley. Footballers from across the Kashmir Valley participated in the game with sheer enthusiasm.
कोविड की वजह से एटलीस्ट 8 या 9 मंथ्स लोगों को घर में ही बैठना पड़ा, तो इसकी अब रिवाइव हो गया, तो अब ये स्टार्ट किया है. हम अब बहुत सारा एंजॉयमेंट करते हैं फुटबॉल के साथ, क्योंकि हमारा पैशन ये है फुटबॉल खेलना. इससे इंसान फिट रहता है, हेल्दी रहता है.
ये एक इंसान को डिसिप्लिन सिखाता है. दैट मीन्स अ लॉट. कोई इंसान जब अपने आप में डिसिप्लिन सीखेगा, वो उसके लिए बहुत अच्छा एक चीज़ है, वो गिफ्ट मिलता है. वो हमें स्पोर्ट्स काउंसिल ने हमें दिया इस गेम के ज़रिए.
The league will conclude in March next year. In the past, Kashmir Valley has produced number of legendary footballers, including former Indian football captain Abdul Majid Kakru.
Well, that's all we have for you from South Asia this evening. Now, viewers can watch the show on southasianewsline.com. You can also visit us on facebook.com/SAsiaNewsline and follow us on Twitter @SAsiaNewsline. That's all in tonight's edition. We'll see you same time tomorrow. Good night.